3 weeks into a rapidly expanding regional war, Washington suddenly announced what sounded like a breakthrough. President Trump claimed the US and Iran were having productive conversations aimed at securing a ceasefire. The centerpiece of this diplomatic overture was a specific military concession. American forces committed to a strict 5-day pause on striking any of Iran's power and energy infrastructure. The logic behind the pause served multiple strategic interests. It aimed to stabilize volatile global energy prices, while simultaneously buying Washington time to evaluate its broader military posture in the Middle East. The immediate reaction across the globe was a collective bracing for de-escalation. Markets and international observers anticipated a temporary step back from total unrestricted warfare. Diplomatic frameworks rely entirely on a shared assumption that a pause in fighting is a mutual step toward peace. While Washington projected calm, Iranian missiles were already crossing into Israeli airspace over Tel Aviv. Just hours after the White House announcement, a fresh wave of ballistic weapons entered the terminal phase of their flight path. These weapons were designed for massive structural damage, with officials confirming payloads carrying at least 220 pounds of high explosives. The barrage slammed into cars and residential areas in Tel Aviv, causing significant damage to 3 buildings and leaving 6 people injured in the blast radius. This was a deliberate, violent answer from Tehran. The missile strike physically dismantled the American diplomatic overture in real time. To understand why the pause failed so immediately, we have to look at the strategic mindset inside Tehran. Following the attack, an informed source provided a detailed statement to the semi-official Fars news agency, an outlet affiliated with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC. The IRGC is a specialized branch of the Iranian armed forces tasked directly with protecting the country's political system. The IRGC source described the barrage as a series of special plans arranged specifically for Tel Aviv and American regional allies. The source stated that these plans were designed to completely remove any hope of negotiation from the minds of their adversaries. Tehran viewed the American peace offering as a deceptive trap designed to manipulate energy markets and mask the deployment of US military assets. This map shows the full geographic scope of the escalation. We can track multiple trajectories of Iranian missiles crossing the border to target northern Israel, southern communities, and Jerusalem. The incoming fire over Jerusalem triggered widespread political disruption, forcing politicians inside the Knesset to immediately take shelter. The Knesset is the unicameral national legislature of Israel and the supreme authority of the state. Iran leveraged kinetic force for a highly specific political purpose: to assassinate the very concept of a diplomatic off-ramp. Expanding the lens to the northern front reveals that the region was already burning while Washington discussed ceasefires. After issuing civilian evacuation orders, the Israeli Defense Forces launched heavy airstrikes into Beirut's southern suburbs to dismantle Hezbollah strongholds. Hezbollah is a heavily armed Lebanese Shia Islamist political party and militant group, funded and directed by Iran. Concurrently, U.S. forces continued their own offensive operations, with Central Command aggressively targeting Iranian regional assets using precision munitions. Central Command, or CENTCOM, is the U.S. military unified command responsible for all operations in the Middle East. On the ground, the 5-day pause in Washington was a localized fiction. All 3 major military players actively accelerated their campaigns across adjacent theaters of war. This returns us to the precarious state of the U.S.'s 5-day hold on striking Tehran's infrastructure. Iran's massive missile barrage has pushed that localized, temporary truce to the brink of collapse, making it highly unlikely to survive until the weekend. The last 24 hours established a terrifying rule of engagement. Diplomatic overtures are now actively treated as hostile acts. In this 3-week war, the pursuit of peace does not create a buffer. It acts as the exact trigger inviting the missiles.